Hannah is now with us. Thank you for accepting my invitation, Hannah.
Hi.
Hi, how's everything?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Fine. Hannah is the communication manager of Farmani Group and the program director of COVID-19 Design Innovation Grant. Is everything okay there?
Yes, I
Okay.
was struggling to get it on the computer, so I'm on my phone now.
Well,
Yeah.
let's start. I think it's been about 2 months that you are in lockdown there because of this COVID-19 situation, and it's going to be extended, as I guess.
Yes.
Have you adapted with this situation? How did you do your works?
Well, I'm lucky that I have a job that I can do pretty much from anywhere. As long as I have a computer and internet, I'm okay. So, there we go.
Okay, fortunately or unfortunately, here the lockdown has been removed and we are trying to start our business. And I'm in my office right now, so we still try to survive.
Yes.
Okay, well, at the time when the medical teams all over the world are doing their best and scientists are looking for a vaccine, there will be a question with us as a designer, what we can do. And I think the answer is in your hand. When the European Product Design Award and the International Design Award came together as one for the COVID-19 Design Innovation Grant. I want to ask you about this idea. Where does it come from and what's the sole purpose of this event?
Yes, well, you know, when we face times like this where we have a big crisis, and I think we all look for ways that we can help, ways that we can make a positive contribution in some way, to use our time and our abilities to help others, even though we are isolated. And thanks to technology, even though we are isolated, we are connected now in ways that were impossible years ago. And it makes it possible for us to share ideas and support one another in this time. And the International Design Awards and the European Product Design Awards has access through our network to so many of the most creative minds around the world across a variety of different categories. So Hossein Farmani had the idea to offer a grant to support designers in their efforts to create products and equipment that are specifically needed in the fight against the coronavirus. And we were very excited to get that set up.
Well, it's great. So why International Design Award and European Design Award? I know that these two competitions are sisters, but why not, for example, LIT Award and Lucy Awards and other competitions?
So the International Design Awards covers different categories of design: fashion design, architecture, interior design, product design, and graphic design. It sort of covers many different aspects of the design in the design industry. The Europe ePDA is product design specific. So we felt it would be a good partnership because many of the things that are needed now would fall under that category. And a lot of product designers, these are the people who are looking for coming up with ways to improve our lives, products that can help us to do things more easily, more effectively. So we felt it would be a good marriage, a good partnership.
It's great. Can you tell me about the categories and the award, which is, I think, 4 categories and 4 grants for each category. Am I right?
Yes, no, there's 4 categories and 1 grant in each category, so 4 grants in total. The first one is for a collaboration between architecture and interior design, and this is a $5,000 grant, which is for an isolation pod or a system that would allow those with COVID-19 symptoms to safely isolate in their home without transmitting the virus. The next one is product design. And this is also a $5,000 grant to design ventilators or other life-saving equipment that can be produced affordably and quickly to fill this urgent need around the world for that kind of equipment. The third one is a design, it's a grant for graphic designers and illustrators to design a resource for the public, which would, for either how to prevent the spread of the virus or to how to deal with the psychological effects of isolation. It could be a lot of different things, but in the category of graphic design. And the last one is a $2,000 grant in fashion design. And this is for creating PPE or personal protective gear, both for medical personnel and the general public.
It's great. Right now, more than 300 people are watching us, and I think that most of them are young designers. Would you please tell me a little bit about rules and regulations?
Yes. So there are not a lot of, we've tried to keep it very simple, make it as accessible as possible. It's open to professional and amateur designers. But briefly, we're looking for original designs. And one thing that's important because of the situation, in the case of medical equipment, it has to meet certain standards. So it's an important requirement that the design is approved by someone in the relevant field so that it meets the requirements for that specific category. Another important thing is that designs that are submitted to this grant should be available for others to use or produce as a public service. This is not for profit. So this is being done with the purpose of sharing the solutions that we come up with to this COVID crisis so that everyone can benefit from them. And we will be following up with the grant winners through the development stage of the process. So we want to be involved, not just financially supporting, but seeing this idea or this design go from just an idea to a reality. But if you look on the IDA website under the grant, there will be more details and requirements specific to each of the 4 grants.
Thank you. What are you seeking for? Are you looking for a futuristic concept or a realistic market valuable design?
Yes. So as you know, the nature of the COVID-19 pandemic is really critical. It's a very critical situation, and it requires practical and realistic designs and solutions that can be implemented immediately and on a broad scale with minimal resources. So that's really what we're looking for with this grant.
Okay, and can you give me an example in one of this category?
Yeah, absolutely. There are lots of examples. So in the architecture and interior category, for example, there are lots of ideas out there, like flat packed modular rooms that can easily be assembled in homes or hospitals, or inflatable isolation pods, for instance, that could be adapted to fill different needs. A great example in the product design category is a team of MIT researchers who have revived a project to produce an alternative emergency ventilator using ambu resuscitation bags that are commonly found in hospitals. And these ventilators can be produced at a cost of just a few $100s each. In graphic design, there's lots of examples of people, designers who are using their creative talents to raise awareness, to offer support, from like cartoons and books designed to explain about the virus to kids, hand washing meme generators. There's lots of really creative ideas out there. I saw an article recently published by Vogue magazine, featuring different fashion designers around the world who've begun using their skills and their resources to help supply the demand for masks and protective clothing. And even architects are designing prototypes for face visors that can be reused. There are lots of examples, and we've listed some of these resources and links on the IDA website under each of the grants. So hopefully designers can get inspiration for their own creative process.
Is it possible to find it in International Design Awards website, or
yes.
It has a...
Yes. So on the International Design Awards website, we've linked to different projects and websites and articles that we found where people are already getting ideas out there, which are related to the designs and ideas that we're looking for.
Would you please tell me about the deadline?
Yeah, so we're taking submissions until April 30th. So there's 10 more days for designers to enter projects. We've started getting lots of submissions already, so that's quite exciting. We're looking forward to seeing what comes in. And although only one project in each category will win the grant, other projects that we feel are worthy and that are really good ideas and projects, we'll feature them on the IDA website and our social media and our design industry network. So it's a great opportunity for people to get their work seen and appreciated, and to share it with the world. And
what's your last advice to participants?
Well, you know, the purpose of this grant is to support people who have the technical and creative skills to make a real significant difference in the COVID-19 crisis. And we just hope that designers are encouraged to use their skills, use their connections to collaborate with medical staff and critical care workers in their city and their community. Find out more about the life-saving equipment and methods that they're using, what they need, and see if you can find better or more affordable solutions to help them save lives. That's the bottom line, you know, to use what we have to try to make a difference in this situation.
Okay, I'm wondering if you can give me a second chance to speak a little bit about International Design Award. I think it's the 14th edition, yeah?
So yes, hang on a second. Yeah, it's the fourth. It's in its 14th year now. That's correct.
So can we talk later about this specific event someday?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Anytime.
Okay, thank you for your great answers. Have a great day.
My pleasure. It was nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.